all you see for like 5 minutes while the person takes like 10 rings to answer their phone. So please, nothing like that. Keep it to questions where I can kind of open a dialogue up to all of you, and we can keep things moving if you please. What else? Oh, and have a great time. And also, don't be afraid of asking really random questions, as long as we can keep it PG-13, right? 13? As long as we can keep it PG-13. Oh! PG-13 is pretty risque. It's the 21st century. I'm cool, I'm really open to anything. So I will pick at random once your hands come up. Please do not be offended if I don't pick you and your hand has been up the whole time. It's not that I don't love you, I just didn't want to answer your stupid question. Who's got a question for me? Who's got a question? I see you in the spectacles there, and I think you're wearing like a navy looking or a blue something. Yes.
What made you go into voice acting?
A friend of mine who scared me and tricked me. I'll tell the story, it's a good story. I was literally tricked into being a voice actor. That's not to say that I didn't want to do it. I was an actor for a very long time. When I was a kid, I kind of grew up in and around the stage. Because I loved it, it was me. But when time came to sort of pick what I wanted to do as an adult growing up, I couldn't decide whether I wanted to go study at a conservatory for acting or study at a music conservatory, because I'm also a classically trained pianist. And I thought, well, I want to be a piano player. That's a great career move. Because the world needs more of those. Plenty of work for piano players all over the world. But I was in love with the idea, so I literally flipped a coin in high school and decided, oh, lights went off. And the back of the room got funky. I want that to happen again, and now when the lights come up, everyone else is wearing everyone else's jacket. What happened? So I flipped a coin in high school because I literally loved acting so much and I loved music so much I couldn't decide, and I got scholarships to both options, so I flipped a coin, music won, and here I am. I actually hadn't acted for quite some time when Christopher Bevins, who is a voice actor, writer, and director for Funimation, more importantly for this purpose of this story, director for Funimation, I met him in my mid-20s through mutual friends and instantly liked him because we were both sort of comic book nerds together. And I was aware of what he did with Funimation, thought it was cool because I'm an anime fanboy. I've grown up on it since you were all in your mother's eye. And and he, one day he just called me out of the blue and said, hey, I know you used to act and it's been like 10 years or so. You want to come in to audition for this show called Samurai 7. Which I was aware of. I knew what it was. I knew the movie it's based on. Seven Samurai was one of my all-time favorite cinematic treasures, and I thought, oh my god, seriously? No. Because the idea terrified me. I'm like, not only have I not acted in 10 years, I haven't ever acted in front of a microphone. All my experience is stage, so it would just be a waste of your time. I'd be embarrassing. I'd probably suck. So I turned him down. I was very grateful, but I turned him down. The next day I got another phone call. It's Bevins. Hey, so I got this show working on called Samurai 7. I'd really love for you to come to audition for it. I'm like, did I just dream this? I told you no. And so this went on for 2 weeks of him calling me every single day and hounding me saying, I want you to come into audition. And he got scarier and scarier and scarier. Until it starts with, hey, I love your voice. And it ended with, I will hold you at gunpoint. If you don't get your ass in here and read these lines. And he totally said something to the effect of like, look, you're not going to get the part. I just have an audition quota I have to fill, and we're trying to get some new voices in. You're not going to win anything. I just want to have you, we need a warm body in the booth just so I can show my producers that I've auditioned more than just the usual suspects. So you're just helping a friend out. It'll be a couple of hours, you'll go home, you'll suck, we'll never speak of it again, okay? So I thought, okay, and I agreed to it. I was nervous, beyond nervous when I was going in for it, because I had no concept of what was expected of me. I had no idea what the atmosphere was going to be like or how he would be as a director. And I went into the booth and it was intense. It was a 4-hour-long audition. Now, how many people here have experience auditioning for anything, like stage or screen or something, right? 4 hours, what the hell is that, right? You maybe have 10 minutes and then the shepherd hooks come out and off the stage you go. Thank you, don't call us, we'll call you. And so 4 hours, I had no frame of reference, and it was exhausting. We're actually matching the flaps and what we call mouth movements. It's a technical term, we call them flaps. We're matching flaps. We're playing with the voice. We're actually doing full scenes. And it is intense. I'm learning how to read through the Bevan's boot camp method. I'm learning how to read a dub script, which is a very different creature than other sorts of scripts, like a play or a teleplay or a screenplay. It's the directions are different. Everything it's just very, very weirdly formatted. And it takes some time to get visually used to. I had to absorb all this incredibly quickly, and the whole time I thought, my God, I really blow at this. And when it was over, the 4 hours were done, and Bevins just goes, all right, out of the booth, monkey. And he was very intense, by the way, as a director. Like, suddenly he goes from, being this very sweet guy who would constantly fall asleep on my couch with my cat on his face, to being like this, what are you doing? Stop ruining my show! Rah! I'm like, oh my God. Came out of the booth, and he hands me some papers to sign, and he says they're all non-disclosure agreements, NDAs. Sign them because you've seen stuff you can't talk about until it was released, so just go ahead and sign this, and sign this, sign this. And I'm very politically confident that I have wasted 4 hours of his life. Said to him, can I ask you a question? How the hell do you people get anything done here? It takes you 4 hours long to audition every single part. He's like, yeah, about that. Actually, the audition was only about 5 minutes. We've just recorded the first 6 episodes, and you just signed a contract, so you're an actor now. Son of a bitch. So that is how I got into voice acting. It chose me. So thank you. I love telling that story. All right, next question. You in the back room that just shot up like a jet plane.
I probably get this all the time. I don't go on the YouTubes, but
The YouTubes. Clearly you don't.
Can you try doing Sebastian's voice? That'd be really cool. Yeah.
Do you mean like just doing it? Like now? Or like anything I want? It's not very difficult to do Sebastian's voice. Oh my God, my face goes from two. True story, I was in a hotel recently where I had to check my bags at the front desk. Shut up. I just read a cookie recipe. You have no idea what I'm saying. You just hear the voice and then like, oh my God, he's a demon. He wants to eat your soul. What's wrong with you?
He can eat anything he wants.
Your Honor has his hands full already, my dear. I was at a hotel and I was just doing this voice because I thought it was fun, and it was the day after the con, so everyone had sort of gone home and I was still there, and the hotel staff was a different staff. They hadn't been there all weekend. And so the girl behind the desk, when I had to check my bags, I'm like, hello, how are you? It's a fine day, isn't it? And she's like, oh my God, what is that coming out of your mouth? Stop. And I'm like, just sort of playing, I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, it's the accent. Yes, the accent, sorry, it sort of weirds a lot of people. What did I tell you? Stop! Deborah, come here, Deborah. Yeah, come here. Listen, talk, do that thing again. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, no. If you were my boyfriend and you talk like that to anybody else, we would have words. I'm telling you, there is something about the British voice, the proper, Regency, the Queen's English, that just brings something out of it. And it works even better in Canada than it does in the US. But there's something I think there's an old Dylan Moran, or maybe it's an Eddie Izzard joke, where he talks about the English voice being the only voice in history which could get away with ruling most of the world for like 400 years, because you could only say things like this in this accent. Oh, hello, how are you? Wonderful. Do you like these nice shiny beads? Do you? Do you like these ones? Yeah, you take those, and I shall take all this land from here to the right. You only do that with a British voice. So yeah, the British voice opens doors for you. It's very strange. I'm maybe on a good day in loose clothes and low light a 6, but this accent, I'm easily an 8. So I'm like, yay, I'm going to be British today. And the voice comes out all the time in public because I like the attention. I'm an actor. What are you going to do? Who's got another question? Let's see. I see a hand with a ring. That's you, sir, with the black sleeve. Hello.
So, I just want to say something. It's nice to meet you. I'm Sebastian.
Is that your real name? Sebastian. That's a good name.
My name's Michaelis.
Wait, stand up again. Where'd you go? You disappeared. Stand up. So you should cosplay as Sebastian at some point.
I actually was intending to. I ran out of time. Good.
Oh my God, everyone, don't you think you'd make a remarkable Sebastian? Next time, work on that and get back to me. Who's got another question? We'll go to this side of the room this time. I see a CL under the light over there, right? I guess hello, darling. How are you? Oh, she's coming up.
Oh, she brought a bikini.
Do the sock pause line.
Oh my God, yes, okay. I'll sort of have to improvise it. It's been a few years since I've done the line, but I remember the bar.
Get the fuck
I'm so
out
sorry
of
to
my
be
hair.
distracted, but I so love cats. So soft. I have a cat at home named Mr. Angus who would eat my face if I did. He's watching YouTube videos right now going, "You bastard." I don't care if it was a stuffed cat. I'm the only cat in your life. What? People are like, thank you, darling. I do so love that cat. Sebastian loves cats, I love cats, and I really like me some Pluto. Right? Something about dog boys. You with a striped tank top there.
Okay, so I have a request, please. Can you please do a scene with Kyoya and
Death before this is over with. Kyoya and who?
and Sebastian, please? If they were to ever meet each other. Thank you.
Kyoya and Sebastian meeting together somewhere. I guess Kyoya would be just Kyoya. He'd probably size Sebastian up and like Sebastian in the front row and be like, interesting outfit you've got there. Where'd you buy it? Was it expensive? Looks expensive. What do you work for? Do we know them? Because I think we would know them. The authorities would know them. You're a butler. And they would talk. They would probably share a couple of drinks together, maybe gin and tonics, maybe a sake. And eventually they would be like, you know what? Sebastian would be like, you know, Master Kyoya, I have to say, I'm not the cut of your jib. I hope my young master grows up to be just as beautiful and together as you. Ever get tired of trying to outshine your idiot brothers? Come to me. Wow, that was kind of... Picture in my head going, God. Somebody once asked me to do like a thing of them fighting. I'm like, they wouldn't fight. They would be like, no, we should form an alliance. Kyoya would run the world, and Sebastian would eat everyone's soul. You with the poofy thingies there in the second row. I said poofy thingies, that's a technical term.
First, happy birthday.
Oh!
Girl, my friend in the 5th row, is her birthday as well.
Oh, happy birthday! Happy birthday! That makes us the same age, I think. Is that how that works?
So I just wanted to, you guys to get introduced because it's both your birthdays. And I think we should all
fellow
sing happy
Gemini.
birthday for Sebastian. So, 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sebastian.
Strong, very strong. I feel like he kind of, got a little money there in the middle, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll accept it. We'll accept it. That was, I think, perhaps the most interesting and exuberant happy birthday song I've ever had. I would like to point out to you that those of you that were not here last year, this is my second year in a row to birthday in Toronto. Thank you. Love it, yeah. So thank you, my dear. Thank you. And a happy birthday to you there in row 5, fellow Gemini. You there with the white 3D thingy. Yes, you.
Hi, I want to ask if you ever found any similarities with the voice act, like the characters you voice act. Have you ever found any similarities between you and Kyoya, Sebastian, or France, or anything?
Well, how much of that I want to admit to, but... Who said France? Everyone's like, France, it's just like France, it's just like France. Yeah, it's just like France. I drink red wine all day and I try to rape Britain. That was sarcasm! Someone's like, hey! Wow. Yeah, I found really, Kyoya and I have a lot in common. I think Kyoya reminds me a lot of who I was in high school. Not that I was ever that suave or that cool, but among the crazy friends that I hung out with in those days, I played a similar role in the group dynamic. I was kind of the mother hen who was like, please stop doing this. Don't drink Windex. Yeah, someone watches a lot of my YouTube videos. Here with cat ears, hello. And yeah, I was like, we would get into so much trouble, but I was always kind of the voice of reason and still never really kept like a dossier on everybody. Sebastian is tough because Sebastian, what? What? Oh, I have to do. Oh God, it's not what I heard. Thank God you just said do the voice. I heard something else. I'm like, was you there too?
I heard little boys as well.
What are you doing here?
Basking in the glow.
Thank you. See what I have to deal with. Like, yay, scream, sing happy birthday, now dance for us. They sing a happy birthday, they think they can just do everything, like you'll do anything for them. No, Sebastian's very difficult, and I've said this before, and some people don't always like this answer, especially the first season of Black Butler. Sebastian is sort of an unknown quantity, second time I've used that phrase today. Because he's a demon, and so it's really not fair, or, well, it's not wise to ascribe human emotions or motives to a demon, because there's something completely other than a human. So everything about Sebastian that we know of and that we relate to as a human being, you know, the sexiness, the suave, the language, is always being all the things that make you go, whoa. I know. That's all a mask that is delicately crafted by the demon so that he can eat your soul. That's the tender trap, as it were. But it's not really him. What's behind that mask? You don't know. You have no idea, because I don't think he would have, I didn't think that he would necessarily have anything that we would think of as a human personality. He would have something very different and alien and unique that would be more like a force of nature or something. But as season 2 started getting on board, and once it wrapped up, especially the way it ended, which I won't talk about for those who haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil spoilers. I felt that they'd gone somewhere very different with him that was very interesting, where whatever's behind the mask and the mask itself had begun to fuse. So where in the first season, his feelings for CL, which are clearly not fake, but they play a very specific role. There's something, the contract, the job he does, the way he approaches his relationship to CL and to the relationship to everyone else in the show is all driven by, I want to meet your soul, nom nom nom. Basically, so it's all an act, but in the second season it's not. The actor and the actor and the role, rather, have fused. So that now he's become something not entirely demonic and not entirely human either. And I think that makes him very fascinating, and I really hope they go other places with him in season 3. Please come season 3 quickly. I want to work on them.
Season what?
I don't know that it's ever going to happen. Don't be like, oh my god, he said there's a season 3. No, I didn't. I said I want there to be a season 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 12,000. Because that's a voice I shall never get tired of doing. And France is France. He's hot. I wish I had more in common with France, really. I love his hair and his sense of style, and I would love being that drunk all the time. And still be able to look that good. Let's see. You're welcome, my darling. Let's see the side of the room. Sims girl.
Yes. So from all of the amazing animes that you've been in, is there any one character that really sticks out to you the most? And from that character, what would you say that favorite line is that you kind of still think about and just still laugh?
First of all, I'd like to point out that you said out, about, and I remember, I'm in Canada.
Well, you know, I rode my polar bear to the convention.
Yeah, I'm from Texas. We get all that time. We're like, yeah, sorry, I left my cowboy hat in my room. My horse in the stable, and the 6 shooters under the bed. And I eat steak raw.
I did that.
I drive a Honda Civic, and I live near a high school. Probably not. Probably about as far from a cowboy as you can conceivably get and supposed to call yourself a Texan. But as far as characters like that stick out, I mean, all of them do in some way. I feel it's very difficult for me to say this character or that character. And let me explain why. I'm a little psychotic. And so when I'm acting, especially when it's the roles that you spend the most time with, something like Kyoya or Sebastian or Okabe from Steins Gate, which was an incredible journey that I got to take as an actor. Lawrence from Spice and Wolf, whom I love. All of that stuff. Bakano, Isaac. I flip out every time I see an Isaac and Mary cosplay because I'm like, yes, you, picture now. Some of them don't even know who the hell I am, but they're like, whatever. I think, so I have kind of an answer for you now as I talk, blah, 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 blah. It's very hard for me to pick a favorite because all of these characters become part of me. They still feature very, very prominently in my psyche, and I talk to them in the car. I sometimes will find myself going into that voice, especially when I'm going through a drive-thru or something happens all the time. I will not only order as a different character, I will order as 4 different characters. And I'm the only one in the car, and then I pull around, they're like, here's your what? They all left, sorry, go ahead and give me the fries that I will eat all of. But I think Isaac and Miria, that duo, because I love their dynamic. They have such a good time with life. They're having, consider this, how many here are fans of Bakano? That's wonderful, the rest of you suck. No, those of you that haven't seen Bakano, oh my god, treat yourself. It's only like what, 14, 15 episodes or something? It's not that long, but it's so good. And Isaac and Miria are amazing. They're amazing creations. They are so exuberant and full of life that it takes them 80 years to figure out they're immortal. That's how much fun they're having. Think about that for a moment. How much fun would you have to be having just day to day, basically cosplaying your way through life, to really suddenly stop one day and be like, we haven't aged, and it's been like 80 years. That's amazing. I love the message those kind of characters send. Like, that's how much fun your life should be. And so I had a blast recording them, and anything Isaac said sticks out in my head.
How do you spell that?
What?
How do you spell it?
B-A-C-C-A-N-O. Yeah. Exclamation.
What would be your favorite line?
My favorite line. Oh, come on, Pharrell Tracer. That's a great line. There's so many. Everything out of his mouth is amazing. I think every time I hear myself saying the line, "What's that, Miriam, my dear?" I get chills because he says it all the time. But I think my favorite line is a cowboy. You know, a cowboy always keeps his heart right here. Like, that's my favorite. Every time, if I'm having a bad day, I'll look in the mirror and be like, I got this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's see, you, Katia, girl on the second row.
First of all, I would just like to say I really liked your role in Soul Eater.
Oh, beautiful. Chainsaw legs.
And second of all, what's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal? No, I mean, I love cats, but cats aren't animals, they're aliens. It doesn't like, you mean like a terrestrial, like an earthly thing, right? No, that's cats. That's not cats. Cats aren't from Earth. Believe me, I've friends with cats. It's so hard picking a favorite. Penguins used to be my totem animal. I love penguins.
Penguins are my favorite.
I know you have them in Canada, right? So whatever, they're penguins in Florida, okay? There's like 18 breeds, and most of them are tropical. And I'm like, it was funny because when I was a kid, I really wanted a penguin. I wanted a penguin so badly. In my childhood mind, I'm like, my parents were like, what? They need cold. It wouldn't survive down here in Texas, where we live 3 miles from the surface of the sun. I'm like, we could just keep it in the freezer. And then when I was a little older, I found out there's like a breed of penguin that like live in the tropics, and they look just like normal penguins. They've got like slightly different, but they live in the tropics. They're tropical penguins, and I'm like, you lied to me. I will tell the neatest pet I've ever had, and I've grown up with all sorts of animals. The neatest pet. No, I mean I have cats, but that's not a neat pet. That's just you. First of all, cats are not pets; they're roommates.
Benji's a neat
A
pet.
dog is a
He's
pet.
mint.
A cat is something that kind of looks at you, judges you, occasionally lets you pet it, and expects you to clean up after its feces. I made a present for you. It's in the yard. And it doesn't have a head anymore. My cat killed a rat in my house recently, and I'm like, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? But the weirdest pet, like the weirdest, most unique pet I ever had for a very brief time, actually I had an octopus.
That's awesome.
It was one of those tiny little octopuses. And the weirdest thing about it, I was watching it for a friend who was going away for the summer, and they're very, very delicate creatures. They have to be fed, frequently on a certain schedule, and they have to check the water and all that. So you can't just leave them to have someone come and watch like you would a dog or a cat sometimes. So he gave it to me for the summer, and I had it, and he was like, awesome, here's how you take care of it, do this, do that, and the other. Be careful that it doesn't get out. What are you talking about? They can get out. I'm like, no, they can't. It's a fish with like 8 arms. That's all it is. They need the one. They can't get out. Oh, how little I knew of the cephalopod mind. I came home to find this thing oozing across my desk. It had gotten out. It was like, and I'm like, what do we do? So I try to pick it up to put it back in the water because I don't know how long it's got. I'm like, is it trying to kill itself? Is it hate me? Is it not an octopus? Is it really an alien? It's going to spawn into something and like lay eggs in my stomach? What's going to happen? So I try to pick this thing up, and he starts like just wrapping around my arms. Every time I try to put it back in the water, he won't let go. And if I put him back down on the dresser or my desk, he lets go. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Just a nightmare oozing across the wood of my dresser, like leaving a trail. I'm like, ew. So I finally thought the only way I can do this is I got a large cooking like mixing bowl from my kitchen. My mother still doesn't know this story. Filled it with dipped his tank water in it, and then put it down and was like, and watched him just fall off and splash into the water, and then I poured him back into the tank, which I then stacked encyclopedias on top of, and barbed wire around it the whole time. Now, in the process of having done this, the little bastard grabbed a pencil off my desk and took it with him, like Die Hard villain style. No! Every time I opened up the lid to feed him this noxious stuff I had to feed him, he would grab the pencil as if to say, no, this is mine, screw you. I half expected, they're really smart, they're really, really smart, by the way. I half expected to wake up in the middle of the night with him like tapping the glass and pointing at me. So that was the coolest pet I ever had. His name was Chewy. It's short for Cthulhu. All right, how many on time, by the way? Oh, 20 minutes. Yes. Let's see. You there with a pretty cool, furry, fluffy stuff. Yes, you.
How do you think Sebastian would feel if he woke up in the Vitalia world?
For a soul, he'd be like, well, it looks like this is going to be a quantity over quality situation. Somebody once asked me, and I'll do this for you. Someone would ask me, like, what would happen, like, they said, act out a scene where France is asking Sebastian to be his butler, and so they're like, oh mon Dieu, you're so magnifique, you're so sexy, I love you. Oh my God, do you want to come work for me? No. Let's see, this side of the room now. Who's got a question? I see a blue sleeve. A blue. Yes, you.
Is there a song that's been stuck in your head recently?
What? I'm sorry?
Is there a song that's been stuck in your head, like,
Yes, there has been. Yeah, you know, chicks have been singing it back and forth with each other. Does anyone here watch American Dad?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you see the episode where Stan, the main character, has to deal with his childhood bully who's a Greek gentleman named Stan?
Oh, no.
And every time he appears, there's a song, Stereo, Stereo, Stereo. For some reason, that got stuck in my head on the plane on the way over here. But it's transformed because in Texas, where I am from, there is a prominent news anchor in our district who is named Gloria Campos. And now I think of this dour little Hispanic lady that's, really, really good at her job with the background music, Gloria, Gloria Campos, Gloria. And so that song, it's not even a song, it's a riff that keeps going in my head. I'm like, oh God, someone stop it, please. And now the happy birthday song. So, good question. All right, let's see. I see pink sleeve ears. You, yes.
Okay, this is a request. Do you think, as Sebastian, you could propose to my friend over here, Ezra?
A small proposal. All right. No, just stay there. Don't have to come up, don't have to work out. Just hold your hand out. I'm sorry, this is how it would happen. Fine, let's just do this. So, would you like to take my hand in marriage? Surprise. Here's a ring. I made it out of gum wrappers. Cherry stems! Oh my God! Where were you 2 minutes ago? I could have used that. Incidentally, I love me some Grell. I love. How many Grells do we have in here right now? Because I see at least 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, only the 4. All of you fight now! The one who wins gets to marry me! I'm kidding. Thank you, my dear, thank you. Round of applause for the Grell. Oh, no, I see it. Friends. I'm gonna regret this, aren't I? Cool.
Can you do, an argument between Kyoya, France, and Sebastian?
Oh my God.
You people are ruthless. Oh my God! Okay, this just happened. Someone asked me to do oh hey, can you do an argument between 3 of your difficult characters that all have either an accent or a difficult part of your range, and can you make it about the octopus story you just told us? I'm not a god, people!
Yes, you are!
Okay. They argue. What kind of argument do you have about an octopus? Okay, so the octopus is on the desk. Oozing away. Leaving a little ink trail. And the octopus is singing. Sebastian walks in, instantly freezes and goes, why the hell do we have an octopus? And Kyrgyz in the corner, cowering, because he's afraid of cephalopods. Something we didn't know about him, but he's phobic of an octopus. And so he's kind of cowering in the corner going, I don't know. I told him it was too expensive to maintain, and he got it anyway. Oh my God, do something now. I can't stand it. So we have this rare moment of Kyoya being like, I'm gonna kill him! Followed by friends walking in with a napkin tucked into his shirt and a knife and fork. Who wants calamari? And now we know why the octopus is trying to run away. That just happened. All right, another question. I see an undertaker at the very back of this row here.
If you had to be Sebastian or Kyoya for a day and live in their world, what would you do?
If I was Kyoya and I had to live in his world, I would spend a lot of money. also probably spend a lot of time playing the Kick-Tamaki game. Shut up. Michaelis suddenly has a British accent. Oh, you see, they're all in my head, duking it out right now for your entertainment. If I was Sebastian, I think it'd be kind of cool being a butler. And when I was a kid, a long time ago, I kind of thought it would be, I kind of wanted to be a butler until someone told me that's not really a thing anymore. I mean, it is, but it's not like it used to be. I know everyone's like, oh, I want a butler. I'm pretty sure the reality of it wasn't that it stunk. Like, you know, you go and you go see like an exhibit of the Titanic, and a lot of the people that died on the Titanic were servants, or either manservants or maids or ladies in waiting. They don't even have a name on the roster. It was just Sir, blah, 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 and manservant. How much would that suck to be like, wow, you're part of history as the title of your job. And that's all history remembers you as manservants. That would kind of suck. But when I was young enough for that to be very romantic, as you see movies like Remains of the Day, or you think Clue, and I'll be Wadsworth running around. And I get to wear a tux. Like someone explained to me, that's not a tux actually, that's a butler uniform, and it's not as cool. But I liked the idea of kind of being, you know, the man behind the great man, you know, the one, the public face, you know, the one that gets all the cleaning done into buffles, basically. I like that. I like that idea. I like the idea that well, I shouldn't say I like it, but I'm fascinated historically by the idea. We were in a castle just yesterday before we came to the convention. They took us to Saloma, yes, exactly. Ooh, get a banana sticker, which I don't actually have on me. It's a theoretical banana sticker. Yay! But one of the questions were with some people, and one of them, you know, we noticed like the arrangement in all these huge rooms, like the ballroom, the library, and the parlor room, is all the furniture is sort of stacked. Not stacked, I shouldn't say, but they're all kind of here, so that everyone's facing each other, but there's all, the biggest space in the room that you'll find is the space behind the settee, the couch, the chairs. And I'm like, what? And they were like, why is that? Why are all the places to sit kind of set in kind of a circle around each other, so the backs are kind of like, it's like the furniture's going, screw you, to the rest of the room. And I'm like, well, that's because that was so servants could lean over the couch, or the chair, or the settee, or the wing-back chair, with the cup of wine, the cup of tea, and not intrude in the visual space that was before the person that was sitting either in front of the fire or talking to their friend about, you know, the price of diamonds. And so that, it's just like, so imagine that, like an entire style of decor and architecture built around the notion that these people should be, for the most part, invisible. It's interesting. It's interesting, and that gives you a lot to play with dramatically, to think about, you know, whatever. I'm fascinated to be what it must be like to be that sort of person whose job it is to make sure the lord of the manor or the lady of the manor is attended to properly. I think it's fascinating. So what would I do if I was Sebastian for a day? I would bottle like there was no tomorrow. Because hopefully there wouldn't be. I'm pretty sure I'd get sick of it after 24 hours. All right, another question. Let's see. I see a hand. Is it you again that I asked her? Did you have another question? Yes, Sebastian.
Real quick.
What do you have? What are you doing? What are you doing? It's approaching the dice.
I'm approaching right here to do that.
What a showman.
Quite frankly, it's worth it.
That's nice. That was like like the Price is Right sort of thing. Right, I see. Rel, let's have it.
Hi. How do you feel about all the fan fictions about characters?
I think it's pretty cool. First of all, let me say the whole idea of like yaoi and shipping and all that stuff. I don't know why. Someone have to explain to me the etymology of shipping. Why it's called. I know what it means, but why that word? I learned something today. Okay, that's very cool. Yeah, like I should France in the UK or whatever. But I mean, because it's Scott Freeman is hot. No, I love it, but as a gay man, like growing up with say, like yaoi and things like that, as kind of weird as they can seem to certain people, I loved it as a very lonely gay child, thinking, oh my God, I'm the one gay kid in my school. Suddenly things like that, the fan fictions and things like that, long before I had any thought of doing what I'm doing now for a living, it made me feel enfranchised. So now that which is kind of a weird way of saying, it helped me. It helped me kind of build my identity. And I'm not the only one. I'm not the octopus oozing across the face. There are people out there. There's an audience for this stuff. So now that I get to play characters who end up coming up time and again in these fan fictions that inform the imaginations of the people that write them is an incredible honor, because I feel like it's in my small way, it's kind of it's a love letter, if you like, to those genres. And it's also just fun when you grow to love these characters as you do, both as someone who's played them and as an audience who's watching them. They become a part of you. They're like family or your best friends, even if they drive you crazy. And so it's neat to see how other people will take them, and it's neat to see them in different contexts. And I love that. I love that sort of thing, and I think it's that fan fiction and that kind of fans are the lifeblood of the industry. So as far as I'm concerned, fans can do whatever the hell they like because it's their stuff. We do it for the fans. They're your characters. I'm just the voice. So yeah, I love that stuff. I have 5 minutes. I have 5 minutes. Hold on. We can make it a very interesting 5 minutes. I want to do a lightning round, which means I want you to ask, I'm going to do as many questions as I can in 5 minutes without rambling. So ask me a question that I can just do like a pop to. So, you, I was going to pick you with the mocha nut.
If Sebastian was a girl, what would his female name be?
Roslyn.
That's my name.
Yes, I picked you.
Just putting that out there.
Yay.
And you have the characters you voice play shirtless, who would you see?
Sebastian.
These are supposed to be quick questions, aren't they? And I'm like, that one. Oh, and that one twice. I'm gonna go with Scar. I know, right? I like the big, muscly, brooding type. Okay. I see glasses there in kind of the center of the row. Yes, you.
If Sebastian and Ocarine were to meet, what would they say to each other?
Oh my God. Hello. What kind of conversation could they have? Oh my God, Ocarina would be like, nope, I refuse to accept you. You are an impossibility. There's no way. And Sebastian would be like, whatever. Have fun with your microwave. You with the white wig.
Lightning round.
If you were a cat for a day.
Wait. Say again?
If Sebastian was a cat for a day, what would he do?
If Sebastian was a cat for a day? Sleep and poop. What else do cats do? You with the ears. I see the white ears. Yay, yes, this is your big shot.
Lightning round.
What? You have a request? All right, make a quick one.
Can you say, come still, what
I don't think I can.
Come still, why don't I take you to bed?
Can I modify it just a little bit so it's less like pedophilia? Please. Everyone's like, no! Yes. Nice. Here we go. Come, master, you look tired. Let's put you to bed. Now you've got what you wanted, and I don't look perverted. You, front row. Right, you.
What would Isaac and Miriam do if they encountered the octopus?
Isaac and Miriam kind of the octopus? They'd probably think it was a centipede. You in the back, black sleeves.
Hey, I request, can you do Kyoto's line, I can pay you with my life?
I can do it in under a second. You want to hear it? Next question. No. Okay. Wait. You can always pay me back with your body. My mother does not work on anyone anymore. And I try. sleeve there, yes. You.
Would you rather have a butt for a face or a face for a
Look at David Prisoner's face. Either a face for a butt or a butt for a face. I think I'm gonna go with I'd rather have, I don't know, I like my face. I mean, I'm okay with it. I don't want it to be a butt. Because where would I put my glasses? Maybe just like maybe a face in place of my butt, so just I can see what's going on back there. See the world through the vantage point of my butt. You there, toward the back. Yes, you.
I really love Black Butler, especially because my daughter's name is Ciel.
Good name.
You do the accent, you do it so well. Do you think of someone, and are you imitating someone?
I'll tell the story actually, and then how much time do I have left? Is it time to close? This will be the one I close on, so all of you know this. It's a good story, it's a good story. I promise. The fact of the matter is, the reason the accent I fall into it so easily is because it's how I learned how to speak. Now, I was born in Texas, and everyone else in my family is very, very Texan. You can tell in a heartbeat they are from Texas. They have that Texas accent, and doesn't even come all that natural to me anymore. But my family, you get with them in a room, and it's like, yep. I got my horse right here, and my cowboy hat, and my 6-shooter in the bed. They are Texan. I had a speech impediment growing up. In fact, I didn't speak very much at all for a number of years because it was so profoundly debilitating a stutter that I would either write things down on a notepad I carried with me, or I would sign it. So I didn't learn to speak, or I didn't speak very long until I was about 8 or 9 years old. And when I started speaking, I had a speech therapist for 5 years who was British. And she had the actual background, so she had that very neutral British, that very authoritative, that sort of, do you like this glass beads here, sort of voice. So I did all these exercises imitating her of, the rain is painful, that's how I learned how to speak. And so so now I have a very neutral accent. I don't really sound like I'm from anywhere. I sound like I should be doing the weather on the 8 o'clock radio. Because that's the sort of the point of any kind of speech therapy is generally to breed your natural accent out of you, so that you don't, because the accent is often the cause of the stutter, or plays a role in the stutter or the speech impediment. So they teach you how to have a more neutral accent. You put weird theoretical syllables in front of words, so it makes you say them a certain way. W, for example, is hard for some people with a stutter, and so you're taught to put an imaginary A in front of it. So that's why they say, well, so we're going to do things this way. So it comes out in a strange way because of the way you're trained. And that's why I fall into the accent very easily, because every time I do, it's the person I'm thinking about is my teacher. Who, no kidding, her real name was Mrs. Britt. Yes, so excellent. Well, I have to wrap it up, all of you. Thank you so much for coming. Run, so please don't rush the table. I have to go because I have to make a letter of the alphabet, which is not the letter B. But I do have an autograph signing session tomorrow, correct? And I believe 4 o'clock. Someone said 4 o'clock. We're going to go with 4 o'clock. An autograph signing session at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, 4 o'clock GCC.
GCC. So I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you all again for coming. You're beautiful.
Thank you.